friends, how are you all doing? Welcome to this week's energy reading with me, Amy Appleby. I will just have a few words to say before we start because I have kids playing outside making noise with the windows open. I cannot do anything about that. Also, I have chimes dingle dangling in the other room. I cannot do anything about that either. I need to have some sort of breeze. I'm also a little bit on the shiny side because I have a temperature and I have an ear infection, and yeah, I'm not doing too great, but I did promise that I would get a reading done for everybody for the weekly energy read. So here it is. Here I am. Maybe a little worse for wear, but I'm here. Right. Now we've got aircraft flying overhead. This is going to be a fun energy read this week, isn't it? Anything that can go wrong probably will go wrong. Bear with me. Anyway, shall we start? Let's get started. So let's start with the first card. For the week, we have the Four of Cups. Now, this is an energy reading. I like to just say, when it comes to energy readings, it is about potentials. I am reading potentials. I ask my guides to set the tone for the week energetically for each day, and then to provide keywords that sit within that day. All right. Now, when it comes to the possibilities, we're going to run through all of the potentials this card represents. You may find on that day one or more of them relate to you, or it may be that you get to avoid the energy altogether, or find that maybe one of the keywords relates more than this card's energy does. Okay, so I always say lovingly take what resonates, leave the rest, as it will be for someone else watching. So we've got the Four of Cups. Now, when it comes to the Four of Cups, she represents missed opportunities for abundance, a time to meditate, frustration and boredom, being a brat, not appreciating what you have, apathy, introspection, and stability leading to boredom. Those are the things that the energy on Monday is saying are possibilities for the start of the week. But I mean, when I used to work, I used to sit there like that sometimes at work mid-afternoon in a bit of apathy after a long weekend and a long week stretching ahead and a lot of work to get done, and I was probably going to be working late, and I used to think, oh. So, you know, there's that energy as well. The madness that is Monday. All right, so I think it's about reminding ourselves on Monday that we have to see the fullness that is our life and the richness that it offers us and brings us, because it is quite easy to focus on the negatives rather than seeing the positives, reminding ourselves of all the abundance that we do actually have within our lives. And so we're being asked to be reflective of that on Monday. Reflect on what we do have that is good. Because Spirit is saying, you know, even if, for example, on Monday, things, you are being challenged. Maybe you are going to be facing a missed opportunity, okay? But look at it this way, right? If on Monday you have a missed opportunity, say you don't get the job or the promotion, or you miss the opportunity to ask someone out or go on a date, or, you know, something happens and you were really banking on seeing that person, doing that thing, taking that job, filling that role, moving forward on that path, and you thought, this is it, I am finally living the dream. And suddenly the dream collapses. And we'll talk about Tuesday in a minute, all right? The reason that you are facing this energy on Monday is because you are being protected. You're being protected from something that potentially would, if you'd have carried on that path, been the wrong path for you. Maybe some harm could have come from it, you know? Maybe you would have got the job, but then lost the job and had no job, right? So see it as though you're being protected on Monday. Because we have coming in still from the previous week, starting this week, the gateway energy of the 888 portal is still with us this week. So Spirit's saying, yeah, you started your manifestation. Yeah, you want to go through on your new path. Yeah, you're steaming ahead. But don't see everything that is falling away from your life, or like the missed opportunity, or you know, don't give up so early. If something's going awry, it's supposed to, for your best, highest good, right? It may not seem like it at the time when the start of the week, but it's for your highest potential and good. It is for your protection, and it is still to do with your manifestations and the portal, the gateway, right? So keep walking through that gateway. And the reason now I'm coming to Tuesday, and I was saying about this energy starting in the week. Well, guess what? The Tower comes in. So Tower moments give us an opportunity to build a better, firmer foundation and new opportunities from the rubble of the old life, from the old energy. In order for something new to come in, the old has to leave. So on Monday, we've got the start of that energy coming in, right? The missed opportunities, the stability that led to boredom, and suddenly the universe comes in and goes, right, we've got to shake things up, right? Imagine I'm being shown, like when you heat water and you've got all the particles bouncing around as they're superheated, and they start to really get excited, and then it turns into a new substance, doesn't it, when it reaches a certain temperature. And that's what I'm seeing, right? Is that excitement of particles, like a reorganization of structure. So that's what I'm seeing. And I know it sounds like a really weird thing to see, but I just see a beaker. I see then at a really magnified level the particles being superheated and getting excited and dancing around. And it's a reorganization of structure to create something new. So that is why we've got the opening energy of the Four of Cups coming into the Tower. And people always go, oh, Tower moments. And yes, I know that they can represent the dark night of the soul, right? Dark night of the soul for you, where everything just goes. And I don't know why I always do that for the Tower. I always blow a raspberry and go. But it really is like a collapse of all that does not serve you. It is the universe coming in to remove the old. And why? Because the key word for Tuesday, action. It's taking action. It's moving the energy along for the new to take form. And I'm going to read you the Tower, right? The key words for the Tower. Unexpected change coming in on Tuesday. So we've got no change, apathy from comfort leading to no change, to shaking it up for change, right? So unexpected changes coming in on the Tuesday, where you will be forced to take action. It could be quite chaotic energy, and you remember I was saying about seeing the beaker and it going blah, 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 blah. That's chaotic, isn't it? But even in chaos, there is order. So the rug being pulled from beneath your feet, feelings like somebody going whipping out the rug, beliefs being challenged, new awareness and perspectives being formed, destruction, being unsure of who you are. So the dark night of the soul, like, you know, when you go through that darkness, it is the destruction of all the old you, for the new you to form. That's what a dark night of the soul is the world around you collapsing, you collapsing from the inside, you having to let go of that which does not serve you in your beliefs within you, in order to make room for the new you to rise, for the phoenix to rise from the ashes of the old, for a new building to be built from a firmer foundation from which the old one was built, right? It's taking the action required this week. So we're still in that gateway energy. So this is still moving us through from last week's energy, doing the work, right? Now, we're going to shift next day of the week. Now, like midweek on the Wednesday, we have another major arcana. So this is 2 major arcanas in a row on the life path. Now, the High Priestess is all about keeping secrets when she comes in the shadow position, because she's in the challenge position. So it's about keeping secrets, facing gossip or mistruths, hidden agendas being revealed, fear of intuitive abilities. So it could be that your intuition is going to be screaming at you on Wednesday, but you might actually be refusing to listen to it because you're fearful of what it means to know that truth, to feel that truth, to hear it, to actually have to recognize what your intuition is saying. Maybe it's about a person or something that you had thought was a good solid bet, and all of a sudden the core of your gut is saying no, or telling you something that you're not ready to hear, but you need to hear it. And I'm going to show you the key word in a minute and you'll understand why, okay? Now, this is not paying attention to your inner voice as well. When you do that and you're not listening to your inner, right, keyword, wisdom. Can't make this up, really can't. This is spirit talking here, right? When you're doing this, you're doing yourself a disservice. Sometimes our intuition tells us things that are painful truths, right? But it's wisdom that was hard won from all the lives that you've lived. You have an inner, deep, innate knowing, and it's about learning to trust your intuition. Learn to trust it. Listen to that quiet voice. Listen to the wisdom of the ages that is within you, okay? So if somebody's coming up to you and they're telling you something and you feel in your gut that they're telling porkies or it's not true, believe that. Believe that inner knowing. All right? So, yes, you're being asked midweek to start listening to your intuition. We're going to move now into the next day. And the next day is calling for balance, because this is about duality. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Pentacles is all about the material realm, about our wealth, our abundance, our grounded energy, because Pentacles is related to the earth. And it is about a need to balance. So this is about finding balance on Thursday. Many aspects. So it's a need to balance many aspects of yourself or your situation, your circumstance, finding balance within your life, taking the time to ground yourself on Thursday, juggling obligations. So it could be that Thursday is going to be a busy day for you within the collective. And also, sense of equilibrium, getting that within you, which is a fight that can be hard won at times when we have a lot going on. But it's also about seeking harmony. What's going to give you peace and a sense of grounding on Thursday? And my chimes were just going crazy, so it could be very much seeking harmony, because they seem to go, yeah, to that one. So Still are, Lexi. There you go. They're saying to trust yourself, right? Trust, ground yourself with your trust. Come to a place of equilibrium and trust within you. Make your decision and trust that you're making the right one, right? Because she's going, which one do I do? Trust you're going to make the right one on Thursday. Believe in yourself. Okay? Let's go into Friday. Friday is the Four of Wands. This is the card of celebration, the card of commitment, marriage, the twin flame energy on Friday. 1111, the 1111 card. Wands are all about action. They are represent the element of fire, passion, energetic force, right? So let's have a look at the Four of Wands, their keywords for that day. So we have, as I said, celebration, prosperity coming in on Friday. Working towards our prosperity, seeing our prosperity, manifesting our prosperity. I mean, after this week of starting off with shifts, letting go of the old energy, trusting our intuition, trusting we can find our grounding and equilibrium, coming into the Friday, then we're coming into an important event or milestone maybe going to be coming to you this Friday. After the shifting of the old energy, the new is going to come in. All right. Also, it could be that on Friday there's going to be a gathering of kindred spirits. You know, going to be maybe having a party, seeing friends, going on a night out. Please be safe. Look after your property. Do not do an Amy. Yeah, I had my wallet stolen. Don't do me. Just take what you need, but don't take everything, because you might end up coming back without any of it. Right. Anyway. Also, stability in the home. You remember like the day before, we're talking about finding balance, equilibrium, stability. Well, that's actually engaging that on Friday. Anchoring it in, grounding it in, taking the action to that grounded space within your own personal life. So really seeding it into the environment that you're in or within you, right? It is everything that happens within is then manifested into the external. Okay? So if you are grounded and stable within, your outer world is going to reflect that, because everything that you do externally is going to come into a grounded space. Even when something crazy happens, you're still going to be grounded and sane when dealing with it. You know, you keep your head in an emergency, right? Instead of wandering around going, ah! Right, anyway. So, Four of Wands on Friday. Also, as I said to you before, it represents relationships and marriage, milestones as well. So if it is your anniversary this Friday, congratulations. If it is your anniversary, don't forget it this Friday. This is your friendly reminder for all those who tend to forget important moments. And if this Friday is an important moment, maybe check your calendar and make sure that you get your wife or your husband something nice. You can thank me later. Anyway, right. So Friday is all about these two keywords. We have delight and voyage. Life is a journey. So is marriage. Commitment. The twin flame journey. God, that's a journey. I can tell you that. That is a proper journey. You learn so much about yourself. People always think that twin flames is about meeting the love of your life and having this amazing relationship. Yeah, that's the end result, part of it. But you have a really big journey to go on of self-discovery and healing before you ever reach that point. It's like, yay, I've met the one that is for me, the other half of my soul. And then you have this beautiful moment of bubble love, and then it just suddenly turns into a complete car crash of runner chaser energy, and you're both in high anxiety, and the whole world just goes. You have one of these moments individually. It brings, but the thing is, with twin flames, it brings up everything that is unhealed, that needs addressing in both of you. You know, if you've got abandonment issues, attachment issues, you know, if you've got unhealed pain and trauma, everything comes up. And then you can spend quite a long time working through all the healing. But if you choose to heal and you choose union as the divine feminine, your masculine will do the same. Just remember that, okay? Right, back to the energy read. Sorry, I digress. We went a little off piece there because of the twin flame energy. So, yeah, everything is a journey. We're on a journey. We're on our voyage of self-discovery, right? And we have to find our delights and where we can find them. And delight in life itself, right? So on Friday, enjoy your time out with your friends. Like, find time to spend at home with your loved one. Enjoy your anniversary, if you're having one, right? Now we're going to shift into the weekends. Now the energy, we're still in wand energy because we're moving from the 4 into the 5. We've got the 5 of wands on Saturday, which leads on from the 4. Now 5s are always seen as the hardest in the minor arcana because they are the challenge, right? But it is, 5 is representative of versatility, communication, and opening up. And sometimes it can be conflicting to face that level of vulnerability. And this Saturday coming next week, you may find that you are faced with having to be vulnerable or finding conflict, facing conflict. I mean, it's about being competitive. Are you a competitive soul? Are you going to be doing, I don't know, paintball or some form of competitive sport? Be mindful of your competitive nature. Everyone likes winning, but don't get too carried away this Saturday coming, all right? It's also about having ambition. As I said, conflict, arguments, inner conflict, self-conflict, arguments with yourself over things, trying to make sense of things, being irritable and angry on Saturday, things, you know, having a short fuse. But, you know, as much as you can be competitive, it can push you to excel because of your competitive nature. So it has its positive side as well. Just don't push yourself too hard that you burn out, all right? It could be a day for brainstorming this weekend. Maybe you're going to be presented with a problem at home where you've got to find a solution that doesn't break the bank. Also, adrenaline and aggression. If you are into sort of like, you know, sport, you may find that you want to jump down the gym and maybe get out some of that pent-up energy, because it might be that on Saturday you'll find your adrenaline spiking and you might be feeling a bit aggressive, and it might be good to channel that energy into a boxing bag. Yeah. Also, surpassing your limits. Burnout. See? Burning out. You need to be kind to yourself. There is always tomorrow, right? We can't always push ourselves to the point where we actually hurt ourselves. I mean, says the queen of doing it. I have MS and I get superhero syndrome, and I think I can do that. I can push myself, and then my body just goes, no, you can't do all of that. That happened like when I went out for my weekend with my friend. I went out for the night, lost my wallet because someone stole it. But also, I thought I'd be all right for a whole night out. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days and I couldn't walk. So I surpassed my limits, and not in a good way. And that card represents that. So all my friends out there with chronic health conditions, You may feel a bit like a superhero, but you're not. Remind yourself of that this coming Saturday. Right, also, dynamic energy and leveling up. Well, I like that. See, I always like that one. The last one for this card. Dynamic energy and leveling up. Who doesn't like leveling up? Who doesn't like dynamic energy? I love that. And look at this. The energy, dynamic energy, leveling up, transformation. There is the possibility for transformation next Saturday. So the energies are going to be rich for change. Maybe something within you is going to click this Saturday coming, where you are going to have that transformation. You're going to turn into that beautiful butterfly, right? Something within your nature is just going to like mature. And you're going to meet yourself and say, hey, I really like who I'm becoming. I really like the way I handled that situation. I feel so much better about myself after this week, right? Right, we're going to move into the last day, and then that is it for this week. Why am I doing jazz hands? Anyway, we're going to move into the last day of the week, and we have the Three of Pentacles. I love the Three of Pentacles. You remember saying about grounding earth energy, about material wealth, about working. This is about working towards your goals. This is about materializing them, you know. And teamwork as well, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. It's about cooperation on Sunday. So it's cooperating with maybe your family to get all the chores done in the house. Maybe it's about cooperating with your partner to work out a relationship issue, right? It's coming together. And this Sunday is a day of rest, but also coming together. It's about teaching and learning. It's about sharing and listening, teamwork. There is no limit to what you can manifest together. And I think it's a family energy, this. So it is focus on family. It is focus on that energy. And how is it going to materialize on Sunday for you? I will leave it up to you to decide. So, last day, Sunday keywords. I love the keywords for Sunday. We have happiness. I mean, come on. It's so cool, isn't it? Because you've got cooperation, community, teaching and learning, sharing and listening, teamwork, and there is no limit to what you can manifest together. I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration and happiness. I'm going to consciously collaborate with others towards our happiness as a family unit, as a couple. I'm going to take that time to make a special memory with the people that I love, right? And it is about purity as well. Now, what does purity represent? Well, it's about, I don't know, I suppose whatever you want to make it about, really. If I was to actually, let me just, un momento. Where is it? There it is. Let me have a look in the book for you. No matter what has happened in the past, everything can be fresh and new again. That's what I thought. It is about renewal. The purity of your soul is shining through everything that you encounter. You are entering into a period of grace on Sunday. So simply open your heart and know that the best is yet to be. The past does not need to equal the future. Your future can and will be shimmering, sparkling and bright. Old limiting patterns are dropping away. Recurring challenges are releasing. This is a time of redemption, forgiveness and holy healing on Sunday. So, happiness, purity, letting go of the old, embracing the new, which is a wonderful end to the reading because we started with letting go of the old, didn't we? Of the collapse of old structures, beliefs, things that do not serve us. listening to our intuition, finding our balance again, finding our feet, grounding in and rejoicing, working towards our dynamic energy of leveling up, teamwork and making the dream work, letting go of the old and bringing in the new. That has been your weekly energy read with me, Amy Appleby. I hope that you find some use in it. Not everything will be for you, but what does resonate, take with my love and leave the rest. And I will catch up with you next week, hopefully for a live energy read on TikTok at 8 o'clock. But for now, this has been your weekly energy reading. Take care of yourselves and I will speak to you soon. Bye everybody.